Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest. That's right, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your hosts. All right. Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's the Happy New Year edition of the Magic in the Midwest podcast, where today Ash and I are going to do our year in review of Magic in the Parks for the year 2021, as now we are at the first day of 2022. This Magic in the Midwest podcast is brought to you by the many books of J.B. Michaels, one of which is brand new, and can be downloaded for free. Why the F do I need life insurance?
Why the F?
Why the F? Fun book, funny book, kind of gets things, gives a little bit of lighter tone to the whole conversation around life insurance. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I also have a lot of other books. Cozy Mysteries in the Mac and Millie Mystery Series, starting with the Christmas Walk Caper, which has sold a ton this past season. And the Tannenbaum Taylor series, which is fantastic for kids of all ages. And, of course, the Chronicles of the Order series, which is a supernatural thriller / horror series for about young adults and up. I mean, anybody can read it, really. But it's really fun. So please check those out. Also, we have subscriber-exclusive content on magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com. So if you want to check out, there's tons more content for you to listen to on magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com. Thank you so much to our new listeners, our classic, wonderful, regular listeners. And this podcast would not at all be possible without your help and your listening and your enthusiasm for the podcast. We thank you so very much. As we head into another year of the podcast, this is the third calendar year that we've been doing this podcast in. So we started in 2020, 21, and now we're in 22. This podcast also has opened up many doors, opportunities, wonderful friendships with other people. One of our good friends that we met from the podcast is
Emily from Magical Mouse Travel. You guys, she is just very sweet, very fun, very knowledgeable, and as you can assume, she is a travel agent, and she specializes in Disney and Universal trips, but she can book any trips for you. She knows all the things. She can do all the things. If you're looking to book a trip, you should contact her. Why are you looking at me like that?
No.
You guys should see his face
I'm
right
thinking.
now. You
Go ahead. Shush. Oh, my God.
But you should reach out to her. The best way to contact her is via email, emily@magicalmousetravel.com. Just let her know that we sent you over. And obviously, it comes at no cost to you. So it's a win-win there. You're help supporting someone and no extra cost.
Yes. Please, if you need any vacation help, especially since it's the 50th anniversary going on right now over at Walt Disney World, it's a great time to go, but it's also a really integral time to get help.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. And she goes there a decent amount throughout the year, so she has, not only the knowledge of her travel agency, but herself going, and a pretty big client base, so she knows the things.
Yes. She does. She knows a lot. So please check out Emily at Magical Mouse Travel for all of your travel needs, your magical travel needs. Okay, and then it's pretty good, wasn't it? It's pretty good. You like that? You like that?
What are you talking about?
Your face. You were giving me a approval face.
No, that's not what that was.
That's what that was.
No.
Okay.
I thought I was going to sneeze. That's what you think my approval face is? My almost sneezing face?
I don't know. You're so scary.
We're like
sometimes.
9 years in and you don't know.
Help me. Help. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
No one's going to help.
What's that going to help?
No one is going to help.
No one's going to help.
That's right.
All right, so we
Don't
wanted
play
to
with
talk.
Cards while
I'm
we're
not.
doing this.
I'm not. I just have them in my head. So today
I will
we
quit.
thought we are still going to go back and discuss the rest of the things we did on our Halloween Horror Nights trip. But we also today kind of wanted to take a little stop, take a little break, because that's kind of what the holidays are about. And we wanted to do a year in review of things that happened in the theme parks and our experiences there in the theme parks in the year 2021. So if you guys remember, we did head over to Walt Disney World for a very short weekend in January of 2021. So that was our first kind of foray. How long was it? Like, it was only, how long did we even
only
plan for that?
Oh, wait.
Like, when did we come up with the idea to go?
I think it was like
2 weeks before?
maybe literally 2 weeks before,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you have to remember at that time, like, capacity and all that was way different at Walt
Yeah.
Disney World. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if that would normally be, you would be able to do that in January.
And stay at a Bay Lake Tower.
Yeah. And
Deluxe
like
studio.
JB said, we weren't there very long. We spent 2 days in the parks.
Yeah.
And we, like, we flew there, went into the park for 2 days in a row and flew home.
Yeah.
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 Right?
That was that
Pretty sure we
legitimately
did.
what we did?
I think so.
I think it was. That's crazy. You're right. It was like a Friday to a
We
Sunday.
just had a day where we didn't do anything.
It was Thursday night we left. Mm-hmm. And then we came back Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we arrived to Bay Lake Tower, and that was when it was like, that was the strangest airport experience
Oh my gosh.
I think
you
we've
guys.
ever had. It was like the Twilight Zone.
It was, and it what was super strange about it is that, of course, when you fly from Midway, if you're in the Chicago area, to Orlando, the flights are always packed. And at that point, they had just reinstated, I think they were like skipping the middle seat for a while there on airplanes, but then they filled the plane to capacity.
Yeah.
Like, they started doing that a week before we flew out.
Yeah.
So the plane was packed, but then we got off the plane in Orlando, and it was empty.
Yeah.
There was no one there. And then when we got down, however many floors you go down, like 2 floors, 1 floor,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
That area where you go to wait in line for what was the Magical Express
Yes.
area.
And now, as of today, as of right now, ladies
Right,
and
when
gentlemen,
we're recording.
Magical Express
It's gone.
is officially done.
Yeah, it's
There's
January 1st.
No more Magical Express.
Yeah. Well, we can.
That makes
yeah.
me so sad.
But anyways, that whole I'll post the 2 pictures I have on the Instagram account, on our Instagram account. But there's literally not a person in sight all the way down. No one.
Yeah.
It was
It was
crazy.
the
We were like,
weirdest
"Is something? Are we? What's happening?"
Right.
And then we ended up getting. They took us just like in a van
Yeah.
because why take a whole bus for 3 people?
Yeah,
And
it
they
was a
dropped
Mears
us off-
van.
Yeah, right at Bay Lake.
Yeah, they dropped us off right at Bay Lake, and then it was, and that was the weird experience that we had where they wanted us to do our check-in process, and I did,
Right.
but it wasn't going through, and it was like, what is going on? We were, as we were driving, we did not have a room. Like, we were
Yeah.
driving, like we were
I
not
mean, it
checked
wasn't
in.
assigned to us. I feel like we
Yeah.
weren't really worried because we knew capacity was down and
we had a
there
reservation.
was a room. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like we did the right things and it wasn't showing up there. So I think you called, didn't you call when we were in the van?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, because I was like, guys, I tried doing it through my Disney experience, and it was not working. It would not go through for whatever reason.
Yeah. Now, I also want to comment on the room because we've stayed at Bay Lake plenty of times, and it's typically a resort where every room is being
It
used.
was not.
It was definitely clear that there hadn't been people in the rooms.
And it was
And
dusty.
It was like dusty and not as clean. And
Yeah.
I understand, I'm sure staff was down and everything, but it was we had never experienced anything like that before. It was like, and then when we turned on the air, because it's still hot, in Florida, warm, like it felt like a bunch of dust was blowing out of the vent. Like it was
a weird situation.
Yeah, like you felt like it had been vacant for a long time, which it, probably had been. So
yeah, it was a weird, it felt kind of dusty.
Because you never feel that way at Disney.
The air quality was like a little, like you're like, okay, this room has not been used.
Like, people are checking in and out of rooms, and they're always full all the time. So it was, and there weren't very many people on our floor. And what was interesting,
actually,
though, is that,
we had like a bunch of people right around us.
Well, yeah, they had us like in
clumped
groups,
people together.
And there were really loud people, of course, by us. I think it was like a bigger group of people, not nearly.
It wasn't even like kids; it was like adults.
Yeah, that were like drinking and just hanging out on the balcony, which I think. We had said we thought that there was a higher chance of that happening at Disney in months where the parks close earlier.
Yes.
And especially at that time, they were closing the parks, like some of them closed
5
at
o'clock.
5 o'clock, so people didn't know what else to
Magic
do.
Kingdom was open till 7.
Yeah. And it wasn't exactly the type of weather where you would maybe want to be in the pool. Like, you maybe could do it, but, it was a little bit chillier.
Yeah, it wasn't like,
like, you could force yourself to probably do it.
Right,
but,
right.
I think we also had some rain and stuff, so we just didn't really go to the pool. But
and then the next morning, that the first day, that was when we went over to Studios. We just spent our day at Studios that day.
Did we do it the first day?
I think it was the first day.
I thought we did Magic.
I know we ended the trip at Magic Kingdom at Be Our Guest. And then we got stuck on Snow White, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh, you're right. So we did do. You're right.
Yeah, we did Hollywood Studios,
which is funny because
day.
we were trying to figure out which park. We knew we were going to go to Magic Kingdom, and we had one other day. And with Harrison, he was 5 at the time. We were trying to think what would be.
Right.
The other park that we should do. And we had actually booked Epcot first.
Yeah.
And then changed our minds to Hollywood Studios because our friend Katie had talked to us about Hollywood Studios and how great it was. And we're like, all right, we're switching.
Right. So we did it, and we did not. And then I woke up early to get the ride reservation. The boarding group for Rise of the Resistance didn't get it. Had the iPad going, had my cell phone going, didn't get anything, but we were able. So this was like we were planning on staying in the park anyway because it was only open till 5.
Right.
But we did later get a 1 o'clock reservation. When the 1 o'clock reservations opened for boarding groups, we did get in that one for Rise of the Resistance. So it was great. We got to go on Rise of the Resistance, and that was just spectacular and really fun. And the park we went Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and at this point everything was social distance, so like the line for Mickey and Minnie's was huge it looked huge, so it was like snaking all around.
We didn't really wait for any ride really that long, but all the lines looked really long.
Yeah. So so that was a fun day, and then we were at Galaxy's Edge for pretty much most of that time. And then we went and waited for our boarding group, which was like at 3:45 or something. And then after that, we just sort of left.
We scored one at what's the name of that place where we ate lunch? The boarding group. Remember we got the 1 p.m. boarding. Where were we eating lunch when we got the boarding group?
It was the commissary.
Yeah, because remember that other family?
Yeah, they got it too.
Dad was like cheering.
Right,
yeah,
right. He's like, yes, we got it.
But there's good Wi-Fi in there usually.
Yeah, ABC commissary is a good spot. It was it was a weird. Like, there were still people around. Everything was mobile order, still is in a lot of ways. But it was just a very different Disney parks experience because we were in January and there just wasn't that many people.
You know what I think, though, going back to the mobile order, was that I think that was a little bit jarring for us because, even when we got in, it was like we couldn't find any food.
Yeah.
Whereas normally, if you got in at 9 o'clock, all the shops in your hotel would be open still, and you could go grab a few things, or you probably could go grab quick service still.
Right.
Like, none of it was open.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of like, I think we ended up grabbing a few things at the airport. Like, I think I grabbed a few things.
Yeah.
Pretzels or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was, I think we had to, for the first time, sort of maneuver this, like, you have to have your mobile order planned a few hours ahead of time.
Yeah.
There's no grab this here. For the most part, it was odd.
The level of preparation and difficulty you need to go to a Disney park now, it's insane. Like, it just is. It really is, like, advanced to be able to be like, okay, I know I need this. Like, we were just talking this morning, we've got a big trip planned in June, and we were just thinking, Ash and I were just talking about, like, oh yeah, we have to make theme park reservations. We still, you still have to do that. I don't think those things are ever going away.
No, I don't think so.
They're just always going to incorporate that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just going to be that way from now on. Which is weird, right? So not only do you have to get your ticket, a hotel reservation, but then you also, once you have your hotel reservation and your ticket, you got to make sure those are linked together, and then you've got to make sure you get theme park reservations to cover the days that you bought for the tickets, and your length of stay or whatever it is that you're doing.
Which is why they always tell you to make sure you check theme park availability for each park before you go and buy the tickets, so you know,
is there stuff available
that day? Yeah, I mean, and then throw in dining, like all the stuff you said, and then we have never experienced the Genie or Genie Plus, or and I'm not sure. I have no desire to even try Genie by itself. Like, it seems like just a joke.
Yeah.
So I don't. If you want to pull it up on your phone, you can.
I'll be honest with you. The sheer amount of negative. This is not even about. It's for me. It's on principle alone. Like, at this point, the way you guys have done this, I'm just going to the park and do whatever I want.
Well, I mean,
I'll check the wait times.
Multiple people have said that Genie, no matter what you say you want to do or whatever, it just
never
pushes
gives
you
it to you
to all the stuff that no one goes on. Right?
And what's bothersome about that is you're paying for it.
Well, no, just Genie.
Oh, if you just use Genie just in general.
Genie Plus, I think people are getting really good results from. But that comes at a cost.
Right. $15 per person per day.
I do like that you can use it, like, on one day if you want. You know what I mean? Like, if you're with your parents or you're with, you know what I mean, and you want to get on this ride or you want to do, like, an individual lightning lane. I do like that the option's there. I mean, I don't really agree with the whole system. I wish that they hadn't changed it, but, I'm not saying it would never come in handy once in a while if you wanted to make your life a little easier.
Okay, so there's 5 of us. So that's $75 a day. That's just for the standard Genie Plus.
Yeah, I don't think it's
suite
needed.
Of attractions.
I think if you were, I think there's a few other, tools you can use and resources to get you to that point where you don't need Genie Plus.
Yeah.
And that you can do that kind of yourself.
Yeah.
If you want recommendations on what those are, you can reach out to us. We'll let you know. Some of them do come with a cost, but it'll be way cheaper than...
What's also cool is that there's this movement and also a lot of people that post, like, this is what Genie said for me to do. This is what I actually got done without using Genie Plus. And every single time, Genie Plus loses to people doing their itinerary the way that they want.
I haven't read that. I've read the Genie Plus has at least been adequate. I've heard that Genie always loses, but the Genie Plus is I think for people that don't really know what they're doing, maybe Genie Plus would be if you want to spend the money. Like, I don't think it's, JB is a little bit more harsh on it than I am. I don't think it's awful, meaning like once you pay for it, not even talking about what it is.
How many can you get a day?
Well, here's the thing though. If you're going to be the kind of person that has the money to pay for it and you don't want to get up early and you just want to be able to go into the park and kind of pay to do what you want, I almost think it probably benefits you. If you're going to you can get just as much done, if not more, of the things you want to do if you're willing to do the things. If you're willing to get up and you're willing to get into the park when it opens, or if you have extra magic hours, like that extra half hour in the morning, people are saying is huge. Like when you stay on property,
Right.
even though that's not as good as it was, people aren't going to it. So take advantage of those extra 30 minutes. Get there before they start. You will get in a lot more and then be able to leave. Not everyone wants to structure their day that way. No matter how many times you and I tell people to do that, they just can't do it.
Typically, on average, if you are, and this is fine. I mean, we're getting a little off the rails, but whatever. It's cash. It's a year in review. And Genie Plus was a big, huge, impactful thing that happened in 2021.
I think we should do it one day because I would like to review it.
Well, we should. Well, here's the other issue. Okay, so we have a party of 5 to get the standard Genie Plus attraction Lightning Lane access. That's $75. But let's say you want to make sure you get on Flight of Passage, or you want to make sure you get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's another $20.
Yeah, but you could just skip Genie Plus and just do the individual ones.
So that's you could.
I almost would recommend that over Genie Plus. Like those high level attractions are the ones you really want to do anyways. So just skip Genie Plus and pay for the individual ones.
So then you have $175. You know what I mean? Of just paying to get on the rides quicker. No, I'm just that was just the breakdown because it could be $20 for.
I think it depends though on the things you're choosing, and I know one of the biggest things with Genie Plus that people are struggling with is it doesn't really take into account when you want to leave the park. Are you going to take a break in the middle of the day? Are you going to park hop? It just plans out your day like you're going to be there and stay there all day.
Right.
And if the first attraction you choose is not open doesn't have a reservation until like 3. I don't think you can really do anything else.
Well,
with it.
It's what you said is actually wrong.
Okay.
You actually, if you are using Genie Plus, the earlier you do it, the better. So if you're a person who thinks, I'm just going to go do whatever I want to do Genie Plus, it's actually wrong because you actually need to book all of your Genie Plus reservations early morning, as soon as it opens.
That's different than walking in.
Well, later. It is, but it's also like you can't just do it on the fly and just expect it to work. You know what I mean? Unless it's a really slow day or something. So just for you guys, should you decide you want to do Genie Plus, you have to, as soon as the reservations open for the day, make sure you're on Genie Plus, getting the most out of the money that you paid, because Disney, unless you want to spend an hour to 90 minutes in the guest services line saying I want a refund for this because I couldn't get on anything I wanted to get on, definitely do it early. One of you in your party get on and do it early. It's still a weird game of
I think
if you want to do it, you still got to do the work.
The most out of Genie Plus are people that are seasoned in that way, though. Are kind of educated on knowing how to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a learning curve. So there's that, too. Not that we need to talk anymore about Genie Plus, but it'll be interesting to see if we do happen to do it one day or something. I mean, because I would like to experience it, because if we have a podcast...
I think it's
not
probably
every
fine.
Day, but one time it would
probably be fine. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Epcot, still, there's not much to do, so why would we buy Genie Plus at Epcot Day? You know what I mean? That would be silly.
Right? The only place I think it would pay off would have to be...
Remy's, is Remy's even a part of it?
Would have to be Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios.
I would say Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Flight of Passage.
Yeah, but that's
honest,
its own thing. You have to pay extra for that. So
that's an individual, yeah. But I mean, even with the individual, Flight of Passage.
What's the other individual at Animal Kingdom? There's 2 of them. Flight of Passage.
Geez, I don't know what the other one is.
Is it okay.
We could look it up.
But I mean, it's also you're gonna. I almost think maybe just Magic Kingdom. Yeah, not Animal
definitely
Kingdom.
Magic
Hollywood
Kingdom.
Studios I could see maybe because Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror usually have decent waits.
Yeah.
But again, you can't walk in at 11 and look at your app for the first time with Genie Plus and expect to get on all those things.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Probably depends on the time of year, but...
Yeah, it is a weird, there are things to consider.
So we could talk about that for a long time. It all comes down to when you're there and what you're doing and all that, but yeah.
Yeah,
Not an announcement everyone was excited about.
Definitely the biggest, probably the most seismic shift in the Disney experience that we've had in a long time. So that and getting rid of Stacey J. Oswad's must-do Disney video.
Must-dos.
That was sad that we don't have that.
Very.
Living it up, got that feeling.
You go a lot, you know.
You know.
If you know, you know.
You know, the must-do Disney. Anyway.
We should bring it back on TikTok.
And now the video that they had the last time we were there was really boring and just no character whatsoever. It was just kind of this generic commercial thing. I just didn't like it. But anyway.
All right, let's move on.
We're going to move on to... so the next day was our Magic Kingdom day. And we just kind of like... All day was Magic Kingdom. And we went in for a little while. I know you weren't feeling well earlier in the day. You had like a bad headache or something earlier that day. And then we went back, took a break. You felt better.
It started raining, and I think we didn't plan on taking a break. But because it was raining, and I don't know, we had done a lot already in a short amount of time. We grabbed lunch at Pecos Bill's.
Right.
And then I remember, we asked a cast member if we could get back in. And they said yes, because we had the reservation at Be Our Guest. So we went back to the hotel, relaxed for a little bit, and then came back.
Yes.
Which was easy to do for Magic Kingdom because we were staying at Bay Lake. It was exceptionally, it was an easy...
Right.
It was an easy break to take.
We did, it was an easy break, you're right, because we were so close.
And it was also Harrison's first trip without a stroller. And so I think it helped him because we were on our second day and his little legs were getting a little tired.
Right, yeah.
But he did super well. He almost did better that trip than he did at our next trip.
Right.
And I think it was partially because that trip was longer. The next trip was longer and it was hotter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did have... the next trip we just had was just so fun. Like the Galaxy's Edge day of the April trip was just like magical. Like there was nobody there. Do you remember that? There was like no one around. Harrison was being really goofy in Doc Ondar's docking bay.
Oh yeah.
We were eating dinner and he was being really silly. We got the wraps, the Ronto wraps.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
And we had a really great Millennium Falcon run where it was just the three of us.
We did. And you guys built the droids.
Right, and we built the droids. It was a great day. It was like just an awesome day at Galaxy's Edge. So, so the next day on the January trip was the Magic Kingdom. Ash wasn't super thrilled with Be Our Guest, and I think we've done it 3 times at this point. I liked my steak, but it was just, I think I probably could have gotten a similar steak at other place, somewhere else.
It's not that you also were like for the money. I mean, it was...
For the money, yes, I agree. No, we were on the same page there. Yeah, the money, the amount we spent,
food was okay.
We spent $200, and we both agreed that the Wave, the Contemporary, which we also ate at the first night, was better. And it was
now, guys, those are
$80.
Restaurants that are like that's not a fill-in for Be Our Guest. Like if you're going there for the character experience, you can't go.
No.
But that was the other place we ate at that trip, and it was just much. The food was much better, and it was.
It is now Steakhouse 71. It's no longer called the Wave.
Right, Steakhouse 71. But yes, I would do that one again in a heartbeat. And Be Our Guest, I really just don't need to do. Really,
Dave. It's funny because Dave and the guys they went to Be Our Guest and they raved about it, but that was the first time they went. It was so great,
Okay, well, I mean, to each their own too. But I also think part of it was we had been there before, and I felt like it had sort of taken a dive a little bit from when we had food there before.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to beat the ambiance there, though. It's super. I mean, it's awesome. It's like you're in the movie.
So,
I think that's part of it. It's just really captivating just to be in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the price, and I also think that a decent amount of my disappointment came from Harrison's meal. This is definitely advertised as a kid-friendly
but the meal was
location,
not,
and his meal was
kind of gross.
Not great.
For kids.
His side, I'll never forget looking at his side. It was sweet potato. They called them fries, but they were like wedges, and I'm not kidding you guys. There was no, these weren't deep fried. There was no baking to them. They had been boiled. It was just mush.
It's very weird.
Wedges.
It was a strange.
It was bad.
It was a strange kids.
But I mean, he had fun. The dessert.
Loved it.
The dessert was good.
Yeah.
No, he didn't eat his food.
No, but he loved being in there. He was
Yeah.
so happy to be there. He was.
But I
just,
would rather just do
thought it
a
was
character
great.
meal. I would rather try something else before I did that one again.
I really want to do Trattorio El Forno with Flynn Rider and
Yes, me too.
and Rapunzel. That's one thing. If whenever that comes back, I definitely want to do that. I know Storybook Dining at Artist Point is back, which is where we're staying for our June trip. So
and that's who do they have? The Seven Dwarfs in there
and Snow White.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, so we might do that.
Okay.
So we had Beer Guest, and then you guys, this is again. I feel like in 2021, as many others, we have been critical of Disney because it was just one bad. Sorry, Harrison's up there playing games. One bad announcement that impacted the Disney fan experience after another. It just seemed like it would just keep doing it over and over again. Do you know what I mean? So.
I think we were all coming off a year that was already tough, just in life in general. So I think it was just really hard for Disney fans to see a lot of things be what felt like they were being taken away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was weird. We did, we did feel that, and we did, which oddly enough, we'll get to the trip at the end, but it made the Horror Nights trip all that sweeter because it was sort of we're here, it's back, and it's pretty much the same, a little different, but it felt good to be there.
Yeah, it did.
So we did, but see, here's the thing. I know we were critical, but then we got out of Be Our Guest, and then it was nighttime in the Magic Kingdom, you guys. And it was beautiful, and there wasn't that many people around, and the castle was lit up, and the music was playing, and the line for Seven Doors wasn't that bad. We went in the line for that, got on the ride. It was just really fun. We got stuck near the end, but we felt, you felt the magic.
Yeah, but we kind of were sitting there and just enjoying the view, and it was the last ride we were going to go on, and we knew that, and Harrison was brave enough to go on and we just, it was great. Yeah. It was great. And you know what I'll say about Be Our Guest too? I wasn't super ticked, you guys. I totally get why people would want to go there, why you really like it, and if the ambiance is enough, or you just, you know what I mean? There are certain reasons why you do things. Harrison's not a big character guy. Yeah. So, and we've done it 3 times. So we're very lucky that we've done that 3 times. Just like Royal Table. Do I think the food there is amazing? No, but people are going to do it because where else can you get an experience like that? Yeah. And the food isn't awful. It's good. Right. So I get it. I'm not judging, if that's somewhere that you go all the time, every trip you got to do Be Our Guest. I mean, it's real cool in there. Right. So. But I mean, it's just exactly. But then leaving, it was just another. It was just perfect. A great Magic Kingdom night. Gosh, it was cool. It wasn't warm. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't hot. And it was just really nice out. Mm-hmm. And we had our masks on, which is fine. But we had our masks on. We had our long sleeves on, and we just had a really great night to kind of end the trip. And then, we had to go. We were going back the next day. So I'll be honest, you guys. I fell in love with Disney not in the summertime because we've never really had. Because even when we went in October and it was hot. Yeah. This was the first time we went, and I felt like I wasn't dripping in sweat, and I was like, there was something really nice about that too.
I do now. Exactly. So I do kind of want to lobby for our upcoming trip, maybe we just do a Disney Springs night or something, or
night.
Afternoon. You know what I mean?
Oh, just you want to shop at Disney Springs?
Yeah, I just want to do Disney Springs one of the nights.
I guess, if you want to. I'm indifferent about Disney Springs.
Okay, well...
No, but I'll do
that'll be shut down.
No, I'll
She's
just
shutting
say,
it down
I'll
already.
see you guys later.
Whoa! Why don't
No,
we
but I mean, I like it. I'm not someone that loves to shop
maybe
for
we should
hours.
try and meet someone there the last day. It's a possibility.
Yeah, we're already talking about that.
Oh, this is already things that I'm not even in the loop of.
Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about... No. I thought you were talking about June.
No, I'm not talking about June. I'm talking about January, girl.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we have to because there's going to be...
Time to fill.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, no, that I'm fine with. That's
So-
a great idea.
So then we came back. We did our podcast about that trip and told you guys all about Rise of the Resistance and Galaxy's Edge. And
Guys,
how
we
cool
had
it
a
was
little
and
bit of
Droid.
a pep in our step after we came back from that trip because it was a rough...
Yeah.
It was a rough year, and I remember just being in the airport, like a gross airport, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah. And then we decided to it wasn't that long after, we decided to take an April trip and stay longer. We stayed, 6 days? Or how long were we there? 6 days.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
And we because again, we had the points and we would also do something else with points in 2021. But so we did some, we just had really a lot of fun. So we decided to book another trip in end of April. And this, I'm so happy we did. We did a split stay and we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge and Polynesian. Animal Kingdom Lodge, the experience was much better than the Polynesian, not because of the resorts themselves, but because of the people we had around us. Animal Kingdom was perfect. Poly, we already talked about that at length on the podcast. We had that this really bad experience with our neighbor.
Guys, don't go on your balcony at midnight and scream.
Be
talk.
super loud.
I mean,
yeah.
Go out and talk on your balcony.
You want to go out there and
at a
chill.
normal level.
Right.
That's all we're asking.
Yeah. There's kids. It's Disney. I don't know. But anyway.
I mean, it's a shared space.
Right.
Try not to be
Right.
a total
Yes.
jerk.
Yes. So, but yeah, so an interesting time. But we did Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was, again, this is another weird era experience. Jumbo House was empty. There was no one in Jumbo.
Yep.
No one. It felt almost eerie in a way. Because we were actually staying at Kidani, which I don't really get because Jumbo, obviously there was room. But there was nobody in the lobby. It was crazy. Now, this is a really cool, grand African lobby. I mean, it's beautiful.
It was amazing. But yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
No one even working there.
Yeah. That's very weird.
Where
I mean, there was maybe
people
one.
staying here?
The big souvenir shop was closed, and there was maybe somebody at the desk. I don't even know if there was.
There wasn't. I was just like, what is happening in here?
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
But we went to go eat over there in the morning, the first day. Just there's nobody there. It was very, very odd.
Yeah,
and then one couple came in to get food.
Yeah, I feel like we can't give it a fair review because I don't really think we got to experience Animal Kingdom the way that it normally operates. I will say my biggest hiccup about staying there, long term would be, for a longer trip, would be that it's all buses everywhere.
Right.
But they have
Right.
this really extensive bus station, stop. It's really big and it's all covered. And I feel like, because that's the only way you can travel from Animal Kingdom, that they kind of got it under wraps.
Yeah, it was
almost
built
more.
right. It was built with that in mind, right? It was
You
built
are
with
further away.
buses in mind and a big, nice pickup area.
And we
in
were
mind.
not able to coordinate when we were there with when we were going to be in Animal Kingdom. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So we ended up driving to Magic Kingdom and Epcot from
Right.
Animal Kingdom Lodge. And then when we stayed at Polynesian, ended up going to Animal Kingdom.
Right.
Because that's just the way the reservations for the parks were available, so we couldn't really take advantage of being close to
Yes.
Animal Kingdom. But it was
Yeah,
it was still.
but-
I mean, I really did like the resort. There are a lot of things I really liked about it.
It was,
It was very strange. It was
seeing the Savannah view. Well, the Jabal House part was very strange. But then when we were in the room experience and over at Kidani, when you first see the very first animals I saw on our way to our Savannah view room were giraffes, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there are giraffes. Like they were close. I was like, "There's giraffes right there." And then we went out, and it was Savannah. It was amazing. Like I was like, "This is so cool." Like my jaw dropped. I just felt like this just felt really good.
Yeah, and you know we're DVC members too, so I always think this would be a great place to at least stay for half of the time if you were going with extended family and need a bigger space.
Yeah,
point wise. It's really good.
It is economical.
Yes. Right. And I mean, yes, you are further away, but you could also splurge on Ubers that day or whatever it was if you really needed to be somewhere.
Right.
Because the view is really great.
It is.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very cool, very neat experience. So I just was blown away by the animals. And then at night, they're like, it's really cool. They go and they do the feeding, and it was just so neat to see the different interactions of the animals and the zebras and it was just great. But yeah,
did we say
very
great?
Cool. It was very cool. And then of course we switched over to the Poly, which is my favorite resort. And it's beautiful. It's the Poly. Although there was a lot of construction being done when we were there, so we did not have the typical Polynesian experience. But still wonderful, still great. We spent a lot of time at the pool. Harris and I, at one point, we came back from a park and we had the whole pool to ourselves at night. It was really fun. Harrison, I think, will always remember that. We just had a blast goofing around in the pool with nobody around. So it was really cool.
It was still a really good trip, and even just the checking in experience of the Polynesian was very different because they're it was
literally just two little desks
besides our neighbors. Poly is great.
Yeah,
gotta love the Poly.
Yeah, Pago is where check-in was, and there was nobody. There was just two little desks.
And we did have some not great waiting for the bus experiences.
Yes.
It was pretty hot, and that was during when you had to wear your mask outside everywhere on Disney property.
We only had one ADR, and that was right. Did we only do one at ADR that trip? The one at Hacienda de San Angel.
I think so.
And that was the one we really needed Epcot bus to be ready. And
I mean, I know you said that we weren't super prepared, but we went out there earlier than we normally would have. But according to Disney at that time, you were supposed to allow for 2 hours before your... which is a lot of time. I get it. They did say that, but I mean, it's a lot of time before your reservation.
It was a stressful... It was a stressful hour situation because we were going to lose it. And it was a nice... We were walking back and forth. We were trying to get an Uber because we realized we were running out of time. And I think we were out there 90 minutes before we thought, it'll be fine. We're close. Right. And every time a bus came, I would run back to the bus station to see where it was going. And you were trying to get this guy, and people would drop the lift. At the last minute they wouldn't come. And then, so it was a little bit stressful. And then when we finally got a lift, you had to run in to be there. I did. I ran through the maze, absolute maze that is Future World right now. Is it still that way? It is. Yes, it's gotta be. It is. Someone was just there and told us the same thing. I don't know who it was. Well, whoever. Oh, it was Dave and everybody. They're like, yeah, Epcot was insane. Disaster. It was half the park was boarded up. I was like, yes, it was. Right. And so and then Harrison and I were trying to, and he was tired. And it was, when you walk into the park at that time, it's hot. And the sun's right in your face. And we had 2 margaritas. And then we got to Hacienda, and we had 2 margaritas. And in Disney, you're paying a lot for those margaritas, and they filled them with tequila. They did. So we were just being super loud. Harrison told us we were being loud. You guys are being really loud. Oops. If we're not, we're not that. We weren't obnoxious. No, but whatever. So, and the food was just, I'll be honest, the food was just okay.
I just
the
wanted
best
tacos.
Food,
That was my issue.
The best food on Mexico Pavilion property is the quick service on the
In
outside.
our opinion, I know a lot of people that like La Hacienda.
Hacienda was still good. I still enjoyed my meal.
But I just wanted something simple. Like,
Right.
I just
Why can't we just
want
have some
the
tacos?
chicken tacos.
I
or
know that
steak
the
tacos.
kitchen is connected because we're in the same
Can you
building.
just give us the stuff from out there?
We probably could have
you know,
asked
I
for
guess
that.
we're very basic.
We probably could have
Well, I
asked.
heard the girl at the table next to us. She was like, "Can I just get chicken tacos?" You know,
Yeah.
like she wasn't saying it to the waiter,
No.
but like to her family. You know, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that.
Yeah,
we're not.
just
I'm
want
not
that.
super."
Although I will say, I was absolutely delighted. The first night we went to Epcot, not the Hacienda night, we did go to Sam Eagle's barbecue
That was so great.
over at American Adventure, you guys. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely go there. It was so good.
Very good, and
Yeah.
you definitely have a place to cool off, and lots of seating in there. It's pretty big.
Yeah, the American
So-
Adventure Pavilion. The food there is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely recommend it. So, we had a great trip. Like we said, we did the droids that time. Harris and I were like walking our droids out in the Polynesian property. People were stopping us, saying how great our droids were. It was fun. We had a really great Galaxy's Edge experience. And that would be the last time that Ash and I would ride the Magical Express. So we kind of took it in.
And Harrison.
Riding the Magical Express for the last time. Although I guess in one way, the pain of getting the thing on the door is over.
Oh my gosh, you guys! He starts going into a depression. Like the day before,
you know what I'm talking about.
So they put it on your door the night before, and JB starts getting upset about it the day before that happened.
The departing papers.
Even maybe a few days before, because he's like, in 2 days we're gonna get the papers on it. You know, and I'm like, dude, it's still the middle of our trip. What are you doing?
I don't want those.
Yeah, and he'll be like on a high, and then he's like, oh, but don't forget. You know, and I'm like, oh my god.
Then we get the little envelope
You guys,
that's
he like
hanging off our door.
He's like a sad little
the
dweeb.
Magical Express departure
Oh my
tickets.
Although I will tell you, you can do what you want, but I'm not getting on that Mears thing. Nope. I am
No,
paying for an Uber.
whatever.
That's so
Let's
dumb.
pay for a cab. Whatever.
Why? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
You're right, it
money-wise.
doesn't. The
So
Mears
why would
thing-
you get there, wait in a big freaking line, pay double
The Mears thing
to go
does.
to 8 different stops? Nope.
the
It was only great because it was free.
Our cab that we took to Universal was cheaper than that.
Yes.
On the Halloween Horror Nights trip. So, yeah.
Yeah, but even if not, it's also time. You're going to
Yeah.
be on a bus with a bunch of people doing a bunch of stops and not
Yeah.
even get on the bus right away. What would
Yeah.
be the point of that?
And I will say this. I would say that when our experiences in both January and April, there were hand sanitizer stuff everywhere. Like, it was very clean. It was very, the cast members were vigilant in making sure people had their masks up and blah, blah, blah. So that was at least good, from a comfort standpoint of being there. That was our April trip, and then we came back, and that would be the last trip to Disney for 2021. And then we would go in October, late October. That's what we've been talking about on the podcast this time. Just to Universal, to Halloween Horror Nights. And don't think we need to go too far into that, but, Universal's great. Halloween Horror Nights was great, except for the scrim. The sheets of transparent paper, the plastic in front of the scares sort of gave away every scare, but it was still really cool
But I mean, I
to go
understand.
through.
That's what they had to do. And other than that,
Protecting the scare actor, really,
right.
more than anything.
And we all tried, even though masks at that point were not required, we all wore them in the houses and stuff to try and be respectful of the scare actors. But yeah, it was a great trip.
Yeah,
and
it was.
We had a great time, and I got to see a resort that I hadn't seen yet, and we'll only stay there from now on.
Right, there you go.
Because spoiled.
Yeah, because
no, but it was super
spoiled.
great.
Yeah.
I never really
Royal Pack is what she's talking about.
Besides, like walking through Hard Rock, I had never really experienced an actual Universal resort.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm with you.
Cool.
So, so there you have it. So We are now, and we'll just tell you right now, our first trip of 2022 is coming up. We're going to be heading out. It's January to Universal. Just because Harrison has never been to Universal.
Well, we actually had this trip planned for the summer of 2020.
Yes, and it got obviously,
and we didn't end up going, and we realized recently that it would be a great opportunity to rebook.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So. Yeah. So things to look forward to in 2022. All right. So we're heading there. Harrison's first time. It'll be really fun. He's going to experience Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. He loves the Minions.
I really want to get on Jurassic Park.
We're going to do Jurassic Park. We're going to do Pteranodon Flyers.
All the Harry Potter rides.
All the Harry Potter stuff.
Except for the
it's going to be great.
Express. I'm not doing that.
Right.
So
it's going to be...
you can go do it. I'll see you later.
Right. It's going to be great. It'll be nice. It'll
be a little cooler out, which will be nice.
Right. And, probably not going to be that crowded, so we can take things easy. I don't think we really need to get into the park that early. Universal, since we're there, what? We get in Wednesday to Sunday, right?
So we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the parks, and really I think they close at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So we'll do City Walk, maybe see a movie, do Disney Springs one
night.
Right,
because we're going to have our nights are open. So we're staying at Dockside, which I'm excited about. So it'll be cool to review that as well.
To see.
Yeah. Okay, so another cool thing to look forward to in 2022. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is going to be opening in the just in time for the summer at Epcot Center, which means that a lot of those big construction walls will be down at least over by Mission Space and Test Track. Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy is taking the place of the Universe of Energy Pavilion. So that will be really great. I'm excited for that. And that's just going to be huge. Hopefully it opens by the time we go in June. So I'm hopeful that it will be open. Space 220 is also a new restaurant that is open at Epcot that opened in 2021. So people seem to really like it. Also, some other things to? Well, we have things to look forward to. We've never been on Remy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to Remy's Ratatouille adventure, which will be really fun, and hopefully we get out of Guardians. Geez, I think that's the only new attraction. But that whole new area, we get some crepes over there. That'll be fun.
Crepes. Who doesn't
and
like crepes?
Also, I was going to ask you real quick before we go, where do you want to do ADRs this year for our June trip to Diz?
How many are we going to do? 2?
Let's do 2.
We're going to do 1.
Let's do 2. We're there for a week. Hoop-de-doo review if they have it back.
I think if they have it back, that would be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
Maybe a storybook.
Maybe.
Or somewhere in Epcot. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of stuff to figure out still on that front. But yeah, this was our year in review episode, ladies and gentlemen, for the Magic in the Midwest podcast. The year in review for 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. It is now 2022. So what will you do in 2020?
Yeah, let us know if you have any trips planned or, I don't know, just goals.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Please, ladies, I don't know, you were distracted. Ladies and gentlemen, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, YouTube. Like and subscribe, whatever it is you guys want to do. But thank you so much for listening. Check us all at exclusive content out on Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. And from the Midwest, see you later.